Thank you, everyone. Nice to be here. And as you can see, we already have adjusted the requirement. 2 minutes is not feasible in this speech, so we had to say with not much code. We try to keep it on a very low code basis. What we will do today, I want to introduce myself. I will introduce what we try to do, what an NFT is. We will do live coding and showing how different tools with zero to almost zero coding will do a fully fledged smart contract on a blockchain and some kind of front end. I will introduce the part for the blockchain part, the rest, aka the front end, I will summarize, and in the end there will be time for questions. Shortly to me, I work for NFQ Asia as a senior technical architect. I'm native from Switzerland, live since 6 years now in Vietnam. My usual topic is software architecture on various levels. So that's, I'm an ISAQB instructor. That means I'm teaching software architecture to people. I'm also on the cloud side, a certified Azure solution architect. I'm a Microsoft guy, PowerPoint, the Windows PC, and they say sometimes I have life, so basically I do sometimes play behind some decks, some DJing, or fight in a Muay Thai ring. So, now the interesting part. What we'll try to do, we try to create and deploy a smart contract on an Ethereum blockchain. We will try to create a front end that we can create new NFTs, no front ends. We want to connect the MetaMask wallet. That's a browser extension for most browsers which accesses your wallet, where you keep your crypto or your NFTs. We will transfer the NFTs between wallets. Again, that's what we will do. What tools use? We will use Wizard from Open Zeppelin. We will create an initial contract. We transfer this into Visual Code, and because we're lazy, we will use Copilot to help us writing that code. After that, we put that into Remix. Remix is an online which I can deploy smart contracts to a blockchain. Everything goes to the fancy blockchain, and then we create some small front end with Bubble.io, and so I show you how to connect this to the smart contract. So, what is an NFT? We are talking about that. This is a fancy Wikipedia description what an NFT is. You can read that yourself. On the tech side, that's what an NFT is. It's an ID in a private array in a smart contract on the blockchain. It even holds a URL where to find the image and everything else, because it would be much too more expensive to put that on a blockchain. So basically, it's an external URL, it's off-chain. So the magic behind NFT is basically their integers in a array.
Yana, can I interrupt you 2 minutes? Because your microphone is not working well.
Yes. Of course. Try. Yeah. Oh, we did not even code yet. So what can go wrong afterwards? Okay. The good thing is you all had time to read how the fancy NFT would look. So let's start building blockchain parts. We want to be able to create in a blockchain speech. You say create an NFT, mint NFT, and we need a so-called smart contract. What is a smart contract? Let's see. What a contract basically is a program compiled and it's running on the blockchain. So we create such a smart and we do the blockchain and call it. So what are we using for that? First, we need a blockchain node. We don't do that in that thing, that's boring. You could either run your own server. People don't want to run servers, so there is a server for that. Slides afterwards, you can do that. And then we need to create a smart contract. But we are lazy people, so we use a... So what you see here is a company, Open Zeppelin. They make smart contracts, and they have a wizard, really cool tool. There are some standards. They call ERC. What we need is ERC 7. It's 7 to 1. That's the standard NFT contract. So you give it a name, say NFQ Summit. Of course, the symbol should be NFQ tokens, no? You could give some baser. We say it's mintable. We want to mint. As you see, it makes all that cool code for me. We also want to increment this. That would be cool. It should be burnable. Burnable means like you can delete an NFT again. And we want an URI storage because we would like to give some URI where we find the images afterwards. So that's how it is. It creates that code, and bam, that's the smart contract. That would work already. You can copy this into Remix on a blockchain, deploy it, done. That's the magic behind the very, very expensive blockchain developers. So, what do we do now? We think, okay, maybe we want to add a price. I would like to sell stuff of my NFTs. So I want to add a price, and I want to add a trade method to my smart contract. How do I do that? I'm also lazy. I installed here a Copilot from GitHub. It's an AI-based code helper, like ChatGPT. Some of you might know that. So what are we doing? We try to enrich it a bit, so we try to help. We need a price. Prices means we need some array, the price, and the ID of the token. What are we doing? We create a mapping. And we say it's uint 265, and it already starts telling me stuff, but we don't want it like this. We want it like this. And does it not say? Yes, it does. As you can see, Copilot here helps me, so that's my token price. Now, I think, okay, we need maybe also a mint. There is a safe mint function, but it has no price. I would like to add a price. So what do? We say, okay, function safe mint. It's not that fast. And it's live. Let's see. It helps already, but it's not enough. Sometimes you have to help it a bit. Let's see. Do we get something? No. So you can have to go Copilot and see if they do something for us. No. Here. Yeah. Let's take this one. Just copy it. Sometimes it does not like us too much, huh? And this is one of the cases. When I tried it out, every time it worked, live coding. And that's a cool thing what you see about AI. I mean, it's not, you cannot predict it. It works in that case. Yesterday it worked, now it does not work again anymore. And basically I did exactly the same. So we just make it like this. So we can put that here, and that's it. So if you want to have another, let me see here, another function, we have a function trade. Let's see if it maybe can do it today. Yes. So we have here this trade function, and it basically says we could charge money for this function. Like basically when I want to buy or sell a NFT, I would use this function. I show you the one I prepared because putting this to the blockchain would take forever. That's another thing you have to learn when you do blockchain things. Bring patience with you. Transactions on a blockchain take between In a good day, maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds, can be longer. So stuff on a blockchain is not fast. So what we did is basically I copied this already here. So that would basically the code be when it would work, no? Generated by the constructor. Also the trade here. Yesterday it did it very nicely for me. Today it seems it's also a bit excited to be here, like me. So that's it. So we deploy this to our blockchain. With the tools in the slides, you can do that yourself, no problem. For time reasons, I will not do that. I have prepared this already. That's how it looks basically. I'm already deployed. You get like a pointer to this, and then people that use Open API maybe see that, know that already. So you get here this nice and shiny overview. The problem is your users, most probably, will not like that. I mean, an end user, I would like to make or buy a token. That's not how it should look. How do we do that? As I am zero front-end coder, to my defense, senior technical architect knows no front-end skills. So I use this one. It's a no-code platform called Bubble. What you can do is basically you don't have to write code at all. You click together your application. It has some funky down things, as you see the nice application name I used. You cannot change it anymore, and their billing is basically per app. So when I wanted to copy everything, it said, oh, your billing is gone, you need to rebuy it again. So that is why this part is a bit funky. Also plugins you buy for that. I use a plugin. For this is per site, not per account. That means 10 sites, means you have to 10 times pay $10 a month for a plugin. So if you ever need money, start writing Bubble extensions. How does that work? We have here 3 buttons. We have a lot of these input forms, which you can see here. And we have some tools, which on this side are the Web3 MetaMask. That's a plugin we use. Bubble, just as a short overview, they have a workflow. That's like your code, the actions, and they have a data, which is some kind of a database. As you will see in the summary, I have no clue what database it is. I have no clue how this data is stored and where. So GDPR people, maybe talk to your lawyers. But back to the design. So what are we doing? I show you shortly, for instance, when we want to connect to MetaMask. MetaMask is a wallet. You can see that here, where all your tokens are in. No worries, this is just monopoly money. I did not put my real wallet into this, but you can see you can also directly connect to a website, and that's what we want to do. I want to directly connect this, so I delete this again. We want to make a new button, so that's how you would do layout. If you are a visual person, unlike me, then this would look much better. But I mean, connect MetaMask is how we want to do it, and then we say, okay, start a workflow. We click, we see here, okay, yeah, we want element actions, connect to MetaMask, and connect to MetaMask. So that's all your code that you write. I was a bit impressed about how easy that is. Let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. Oh, I should become a front-end designer. Let's shortly validate, because MetaMask is smart and should usually, has access to the site. That's exactly what I'm thinking. No, it's not connected. So when we want to say, okay, connect to MetaMask, we hit that button and hope something happens. We see this little number 1. It says connect with MetaMask. Select here the account I want to use. Say connect. Bam, done. If you do that yourself, it takes at least 20 to 40 lines of code depending on the frameworks you're using. This was just some clicks. Okay, now we're connected. Now we want to call a smart contract. How do we do that? I show you shortly this. Mint here. What you can do is like you can put in some constraints. I say here only this action should only trigger when my wallet is connected, and then I would say, okay, smart contract. That's a plugin. I did not write nothing. I give it which element to use. There is this MetaMask element or this Web3 element we need. We give the contract address, the API. That's like the adjacent API description of what your smart contract can do, and we give it some parameters. And what you can see here, it's quite a long thing. The cool thing is we say the wallet address is an object. We have that for the connection. So I just say my parameter now, I make here insert dynamic data, say okay, I want something to do here with this MetaMask here, and can say wallet address. That's as easy. If you do a form, as you can see then as a second thing, you just say I make an input, it's called input URI, you see even how the element looks and say the value that the user enters. So that's really fast and really cool to make. If we do that, we can hopefully again try that we have a smart contract call. We say we create a new one, we use some random image here. Okay. I do not render it. That's because I'm really a bad front-end developer. So I do not even close it. So, and what you will now see is the following. We have to run it. It opens MetaMask because someone has to pay for this transaction. That's the thing. If you run methods in the blockchain, that costs you money. If you read data, it's free. If you write data, it costs you money. So be aware, if you write your applications, writing data on a blockchain always costs money. And depending on what you do, a lot. And the other thing is pending transaction. We are still waiting. We don't know if that thing is working or not. So, awkward silence. Let's see. Maybe it worked, maybe not. I did not get the transaction yet. It took my money already. Yeah, it looks okay. Yeah. As you can see here, we have now these 5 NFQs. Funny is usually it should tell me, but it does apparently not. But expect this to take between 5 and 20 seconds. So don't do that synchronous. We have a talk for this. If you wait for that, I think your user will not be your friends afterwards. Okay. Last thing is we want to transfer an NFT. So for this we need an address. What is an address? An address is basically like an email address in the non-chain world. It is this one. This is like a public key from another address. I don't want to connect it. I just want this address. So we need this address here. And we say the token ID was 7. That is because I knew that the one before should be 6. Let's try. Okay. Let's see if it works. You see, I tried sometimes. Yeah, it is. It was 3 or 4, now you have 4 of these NFT tokens. The other thing is, that's just an ID. All you have is like, an NFT is like a coin of one entity. So all you have is like basically you create your own currency. My Vietnam DOM and you only make one bill. That's exactly the same. The whole thing is handled internally over that private array with the integer values. So that's all the magic you have here. So when you see it's very easy, these method calls are very easy to do. I did not write any code at all, or well, Copilot did. But you can, with like almost zero coding in 20 minutes or a bit less, start with a very functional prototype. It comes with some downsides. Let me do that here. We all did that already. It is possible to create, with no or low code, a fully fledged platform with the help of the generators, ChatGPT, Copilot, Bubble. You have other platforms who can do that. I honestly doubt the sustainability of such tools. You don't know where it's hosted. If that platform goes bankrupt, your website or application is fucked. I mean, all your data, everything's down. I would use it for MVPs, maybe quick demo or environments where no surprising changes are supported. If they come tomorrow, oh, we want something completely different, that can fuck up your whole data system, that can really go against the flow of your whole application. Then they're quite expensive. Like, as I said, Bubble here comes at $25 per month for each site you deploy. It's not like I pay $25 and have as much websites as you want. It's one website, $25 per month. So that's around $300 a year. And there is no plugin involved. For every plugin, you also have a subscription, also per site. That means I pay now $7 for that MetaMask per month. If you have 10 sites, it's $70 license cost, which you have per site. So think about that when you do that. You have zero overview over where that stuff is hosted. Database technology, what is used, I have no clue. I did not even find some information on the web that were like sufficient. And if you are in Europe and have a GDPR thing, don't do it. Your lawyers will kill you before you make the first demo. And as a conclusion, those tools are cool. We saw, I mean, you don't do much, but they are a bit unpredictable. You have a lot of constraints in professional software engineering. And if you do not understand what they do, or if you do not understand the technique at the basic, then basically you're just a fool with the tool. And please don't do, like, if you use that, use it to support your system, your applications, but be aware that there is technique under it and you should at least understand the techniques underneath. Okay, thanks a lot. Are there any questions from your side? You can also use Lido in case you would like to have. Yes?
Yeah, which network does it support? Does it support only Ethereum?
No, because basically the deployment over Remix is like Ethereum, it can do Polygon, it can do like 6 or 7 others. Because you host that node, and if you, I used here Infura it's like a software as a node as a service. So basically it gives you that node. It supports I think 10 different networks, but you can change that. And also the smart contract per se, this is as long as it's EVM, that's the Ethereum virtual machine compatible, they don't care. I mean, the smart contract will compile to the bytecode, and the bytecode, if it runs on Ethereum or another EVM compatible chain, that plugin does not care. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it's good. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you, Jano.